Easy hacks you haven't tried for weight loss. You probably haven't tried, and we're so excited.
Today, we have to tell you that this is something that our clients have all told us they struggle with. It is one of their biggest struggles. Some of you have written to us too. It is portion sizes. How do you know what size is the right portion for you? And today we're going to teach you that. And we're also going to help you to relearn your body's hunger and satiety cues so you can nail this every time.
What we found is that when our new clients come to us, they tell us they don't know what a portion size looks like, they don't know how much they should be eating, and what they end up doing is they end up eating the amount that they're given or guessing how much that they should eat, and they end up overeating, and it's causing weight gain. And the truth is, most of us don't recognize when we're satisfied and when we're hungry. We just don't recognize our hunger cues. And we should stop when we're satisfied, but instead we allow that portion to dictate how much we should eat because we don't know how much we should eat and we don't recognize that we're not satisfied or when we are satisfied. And the truth is that we should eat until we are satisfied. This is actually not eating until we're full. It means we're stopping before we're full.
So that's a change of mindset for most people because we usually think we feel when we're satisfied, we're full. But no, that's not what we're saying.
No, we're stopping before we're full. And we have our clients using our 80-20 rule for this. And the 80-20 rule is not what you're thinking, which you've probably heard before. Eat healthy 80% of the time and a little less healthy 20% of the time, which, by the way, it's not a bad rule.
I like it. It's
we
good.
We do like that
good.
rule, but that's not our 80-20 rule. Our 80-20 rule for you is we want you to stop when you're 80% full. So before you're actually satisfied, when you're satisfied, but before you're full.
So how do you learn this?
Wait 1 second, you jumped the gun. You jumped the gun. You jumped the gun. We have a lot more, we have a lot more to tell you about this because actually there's so many benefits other than just weight loss that come from stopping eating when you're satisfied. One being you're going to feel a lot less bloated. You're going to wake up a lot less groggy in the morning. And if you have heartburn or indigestion or any of those things, sometimes just getting in touch with when you're satisfied and stopping then will completely get rid of heartburn and indigestion, but it would definitely minimize it if nothing else.
The other thing I want to mention though, as she mentioned that, is also a lot of people don't realize, but their stomachs are stretched out all of the time just because they're eating until they're full. They don't feel maybe completely uncomfortable, but they eat until when they're full. But because their stomachs are stretched out, as soon as they go back to eating until they're just satisfied and not full, they see that their stomach is much flatter. So
yeah, that's
it's a great
really
perk.
Nice bonus.
Okay.
So how do we stop eating when we're 80% full if we don't recognize that we're 80% full? We don't recognize we're satisfied. What can we do?
Well, we have our clients use a nifty scale, which we call the hunger satiety scale.
This scale, we have it right here in front of us, the hunger scale. And what we do is you want to stop eating a meal when you're about 5 to 6 on the hunger scale. So when you're satisfied, when you're feeling good, you see that right there? So when you're content and when you're comfortably full.
So one on the scale is you are starving, you could eat a cow, and the cow, your next door neighbor's cow. So that's not
and a fingernail, you're that hungry. You'll just chow on your fingernail.
And if you notice, 2 is very hungry. You don't want to get to number 2 very hungry. That's a bad thing because when you're very hungry, you're not rational. That means you might be slightly see something that you would never choose to eat before, but it's slightly tempting now. It would be but now it's got bells and whistles on it because you're hungry. So you don't want to allow yourself to get to very hungry. And then 10 is Thanksgiving Day full. You're so full, you might be lying on the couch, your pants might not even be buttoned, you're so full. And you probably, if the game's going on, it might have been exciting, but you might have fallen asleep during the game.
So you've
got a food coma going on.
Yeah, you don't want to get to that point. And the really beautiful thing about the scale is that you can use it, you should use it before your meal, during your meal. It's really important to assess during your meal because when we eat and we eat too quickly, our brain doesn't get the signal that we actually got food. So if we don't use it during the meal and we eat very quickly, then we're not allowing our body time. We really should use it 20 minutes into the meal. That's when our brain gets the signal that we ate. And for a lot of people, when they take this time, they realize, okay, wait a second. I can stop here. I don't need to go on and on. But if I ate that really quickly because I was so hungry when I first came to eat this meal, if I came here and I was so hungry, I just ate so quickly, I can do a lot of damage in 20 minutes before the food actually hits the stomach or gives the brain a chance to adjust.
So we want you guys to use this scale for the next week and just to relearn your body's hunger and satiety signals. So this means before our meal, if you haven't had a meal for a couple hours, you need to be using the scale, and then 20 minutes into a meal, and then when the meal's finished, make sure you use it.
You know what? We really need to slow down. And if you think this whole slowing down thing was easy for us, it was not. We have No, we actually are girls that we're used to eating very quickly and large portions. So this hunger scale has come in so much handy for us. When we were little kids, goes way back for us. So we've been relearning our portions for years. So when we were little kids, we were, I'd say probably about 11, right? When everything hit the fan. Everything hit the fan. We were about 11 years old, and what had happened was, back then we didn't really care about eating. We didn't like to take the time to eat. I don't know what happened. Now it's like we focus on it a lot. We love it. We love food. But back then, all we wanted to do was play and run around. So our mom, she would always try to say, girls, come and eat more, and we really didn't want to. And there's one year when all of our friends were growing and gaining weight as you normally should, and these two little girls stayed the exact same height and didn't gain a pound all year. And my mom took us to the doctor, and the doctor said, if you don't start feeding these girls, they're never going to hit 5 feet. So that scared my mom to death.
That's all she needed to hear.
She fed us so much, and we were overstuffed. And I remember going to school in the morning, and I remember we were like this big, and she'd make us eat 3 pancakes on our way out the door, which was a lot.
I don't think that was it. I think it was like pancakes with like grapefruit and all this other. I just remember being a ton.
So I'd go on my way to school, and every morning I had a stomach ache, and no one could figure out why. Do you think a girl this big just ate like so much food she was about to burst? But no one could figure out why. But the thing was, within a month, we went back to the doctor after our mom did this, and we had grown an inch in 1 month after not growing an inch in a year, and we gained 5 pounds in that 1 month. And so my mom was like, I'm not letting up. And so ever from then until we were in high school and stayed in that house, we grew up having to finish everything on our plate, eating large portions, and because we wanted to be outside playing all the time and we didn't want to be inside, we would eat our food so fast, like as quickly as you can imagine. Like, we didn't even chew our food, we just swallowed. My mom used to say, girls, can you please chew your food? I'm like, what's the point of chewing your food?
We just gotta get it out. We gotta get outside.
We're so different now, but this was a learning experience for us. So there's something beautiful when you chew your food slowly, and this is thoroughly, and this is something that's very, very important to do for so many reasons, and especially as you try to get in touch with your hunger and satiety and get in touch with those cues. So when you chew your food slowly, it's going to feel really weird, but you need to actually chew it into a paste. And believe us, it wasn't so easy for us the first time. And
we still practice
it. I will tell you, there's so many health benefits to this, and we'll explain those in just a second. But I will tell you now, I actually enjoy when I focus on chewing thoroughly, making the food, like, it starts off as this crunchy food and enjoying the textures and then turning it into a paste. And I try to encourage myself by thinking, wow, this is amazing. Like, I can actually turn this into a paste. And the beautiful thing about turning your food into a paste are so many health benefits. So number one, what many times we don't realize is that we're often eating in a stressful situation. Sometimes we're just on the go, we're standing, there's people around us, we're stressed, and our body actually, in that sense, it is in a fight or flight mode, and it's happening all of the time if you're eating standing up, and this is releasing adrenaline, which tells our body, don't think about fat burning right now, and certainly don't think about digesting food. We've got bigger threats to deal with. So what happens is, if we eat quickly, we don't ever give our body the sense to realize that something's coming, because when we start chewing in our mouth mechanically and turning the food into a paste, that's where digestion begins. We actually have something called salivary amylase that starts to digest the food
in your mouth,
as you're eating it, and mechanically, and it gives signals to your digestive tract to start putting out enzymes to start digesting food when it gets down there. Now, if you don't take that time to give your body the signal to get these enzymes out there, instead what happens is these big chunks of food arrive in your stomach, you're in fight or flight mode, and your body says, no thanks, we're not thinking about digesting right now, and we don't even have enzymes to do it right now. We are thinking about putting fat burning aside, and you know what, while we're at it, we're not digesting, so we're not going to absorb any of those nutrients that help to fight cravings. Nope, we're not going to do it. No. So instead, what happens if you don't chew your food into a paste and you're in this more of a fight or flight mode, this food gets into your stomach, it's in big pieces, you're not absorbing the nutrients that you need to fight cravings or for your metabolism to work efficiently. It's sitting there and you don't have the digestive enzymes that you need to digest this big chunk of food. It's not even well broken up because you haven't chewed it. And even if it's a healthy food like a piece of spinach, it gets to your gut and the bacteria in your gut say, oh, wow,
it's a field day for them. They start working on that undigested food.
They ferment it.
I think she might not have to explain what that means, but I will just in case. It's not pretty. That means gas, bloating.
I like to say that too because everyone needs to know so they realize what's happening. So if you chew your food into a paste, goodbye gas and bloating, goodbye all of these uncomfortable symptoms, and
hello nutrient absorption, because your body can actually absorb those nutrients when they're actually chewed very well and it's already been broken down for your body. It's nice and easy.
It's nice and easy, and as you've chewed thoroughly, you've given your brain time to get the signal that you've had food, so you eat a lot less. So that's one of the most important things that you can do to get in touch with your hunger and satiety cues. Slow down. It is a constant process for us, and when I remind myself, I actually, like I said, enjoy the process, but we get it. It takes practice.
We definitely get it. My husband, we go to dinner and he's a typical guy. He eats his dinner. My dinner hasn't even been served and his is already gone, so I always feel like I'm trying to catch up with him and I have to remind myself, wait, slow down. It's really important.
And when I eat with her, I always know when she's just had a meal with him, because wait a second, you're eating so fast and it makes me eat fast. So one of the things that we like to do, we like to put our fork down between the meal. We like to focus and concentrate on the company we're with and take our time. But you really want to eat in a sit down, in a relaxed environment. So you really want to change your mindset. If you're someone that stands up and eats at the pantry or anything like that, this will help you a lot. Sit down, relax, as I always tell you. Relax. She gets a little wound up sometimes, I must say. Relax. So tell yourself to relax and enjoy your meal and let your body accept it so you can digest it well and actually realize when you're hungry. So when you're into the meal, 20 minutes into the meal, that's the ideal time to reassess. And if it just
and use that hunger satiety scale. Where are you? Are you at 5 or 6 yet? Meaning you're comfortable and satiated? Because if you are, that means it's actually time to stop.
Yeah. So this is a really, really great thing to practice. And really, if you are someone that finishes too quickly and you realize, like, maybe stop halfway through your meal. If you realize that you're going to finish it too fast, just stop halfway through anyway. Get up and do something else and just give your body 20 minutes to realize you got the signal, because you will not eat as much when you realize that you're actually satisfied. And so that is one of the great things that we do. We have a few other tricks to help us as girls that love big portions. I remember someone was so rude to me. I mean, I found it to be so rude. They said to me, you'll love this restaurant.
I know. They were talking to both of us.
Yeah.
You guys will love this restaurant. They serve the smallest portions. And I was like, why would we like that?
You should like that. Who said we like small portions? You like small portions. Like, we like a restaurant because they're small.
Very offended.
Yeah, very offended. We are not those girls. So what we do to adjust for liking our large portions is, as you know, we love our vegetables. So we fill a lot of the plate with the vegetables. But we also, as you're learning to adjust to your hunger cues and satiety and how much you should eat, we also use smaller plates, and so we fill them up, so it's like a little mind game. So it tricks you into thinking, This is actually a really like full plate of a lot of food.
So instead of using maybe a 9-inch plate, you switch to a 7-inch plate.
With a little bit in the middle, it looks like a little bit in the middle, and then you're like, oh, already you feel like, why is this such a small portion? You use a small plate, you load
Trick
it all
your
up,
mind.
and you're like, ooh, what a nice portion I'm getting today.
And the same thing happens with your glasses. You can use a tall, thin glass in the glass to make it look like it's more. And then also, so the other thing we wanted to point out is that when we're telling you to use the scale, but the hunger satiety scale, and to really learn what your feelings are. But say you're halfway through your day, say you're in the mid-afternoon or in the late afternoon, and you're looking and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm really feeling hungry and I'm not going to be able to eat again for a long time. Well, then like, ooh, I really need something to tide me over. Well, then go back to day 1 of our hack 1 that we taught you. That would be the perfect time for the tea and veggie pre-meal. Because it will tide you over until you get to your next meal, and it will take the edge off that hunger at your next meal. Now, so that's one situation, one scenario. Let's say another one is you've eaten, you're at your 80-20 and you've gotten to 5 or 6 and you're feeling full, but you still want a snack, okay? You still want something. So then you assess the situation and say, okay, I'm at my 80-20 full, but I feel like I want something. So that's either time, if you want to have a little something, you might say, okay, but I'm here. Okay, what's going on in my day? Is this coming from emotion?
How many times do we eat out of emotions? Like, we always ask our clients, they say, I wanted that. I say, well, sometimes you're truly hungry. Do you know if you're truly hungry or when you wanted that snack? And they usually say, they're so much better than I would be, I have to say. They usually say, I don't think I was truly hungry. I would say, oh yeah, I was truly hungry. I needed it. They say, no, I actually think I wasn't truly hungry. I just wanted something. When you want something after a meal, you're not truly hungry. So that's a great time, Tammy, go ahead.
Okay, to deal with the emotional part. And that's one time
you're using that hunger cue, because you realize, like, wait a second, shucks, I am actually satisfied. I get so mad when that happens, by the way. I'm like, but I wanted that.
And then, I know it's very frustrating, but then you want to deal with the emotional part. And what we have our clients do, and it works,
and we do it too, I'm not going to lie, I use it a lot,
of course, is deep breathing. And this stimulates your body's parasympathetic nervous system, so it brings on relaxation. So then, if you're eating out of stress, or another emotion, sadness, anxiety, boredom, it's going to calm your body down. So we're going to walk you through what this deep breathing is right now, just so you know, and you can use it. So when you learn that you're actually want to eat something and it's out of emotions, this is what you do.
There's so many different techniques actually that you can use, but this is one that we found to be very helpful for ourselves. It takes discipline and practice, we have to say, and very helpful for our clients.
Okay, so do you want to guide me or you want
me
to?
No, you guide me. Okay. I want to try it this time.
Hopefully she won't fall asleep. It's awesome. If you have trouble sleeping at night, do 10 rounds of this very slowly, and it
relaxes
works.
you. It's so great.
I do it with my daughter when she's up and can't sleep at night. I guide her through it. She's like, she never wants to do it, but I'm like, do it with me. And so we'll do it together. So we start by breathing in slowly through your nose for a count of 8, or however many you can.
Yeah, not 8. But I'm saying not 8 because for us it's hard to get that much air.
Because we're almost in like a hyperventilation state all the time, so our lungs are quite compressed.
Yeah, so you do what you can.
So let's start with 4.
I don't want to pass out in front of them. You have to carry on alone.
Okay, the goal is 8. The goal would be 8, 8, 8 if we can get there. But we're not going to be able to. We'll just do 4, 4, 5. We'll try for 4, 4, 5. So 4, meaning you breathe in through your nose for a count of 4 slowly.
Do it with us.
Do it with us.
Well, you count, Tammy, for us all.
Okay, so close your eyes, and everyone slowly breathe in through your nose for a count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now hold it in your lungs for 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out through your mouth for 1, 2, 3, 4, and we said 5. Now breathe in through your nose for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold in your lungs for 1, 2, 3, 4. Out through your mouth for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there you did 2 sets of it. Great job. So that was 2 rounds.
And if you were like me and you did it with me, I already feel a little bit of the edge taken off. And if you can do this when you just want a snack or like something sweet or something like salty, and it's just a craving and nothing more than that, and that you feel satisfied and you're at the level of 5 to 6 hunger, like you're completely satisfied. This can really be magical. So definitely try it. We really recommend it. There's so many other techniques, but this one, like we said, is very helpful.
And so we did the rounds of 4, breathing in through your nose for 4, holding in your lungs for 4, breathing out for 5. But ideally, as you get along and keep going more and more, your breathing becomes slower, and you might be able to get, say, when you get to your 8th round, you might be able to do 7 in, breathing in 7 through your nose, holding in your lungs for 7, and then out for 8.
And it'll make you a lot more rational. So at the end of the day, you'll be able to look at that brownie or cupcake or whatever you want and say, okay, you know what? If I have it, I can have just a bite, but maybe I don't need it. Maybe I can just go and brush my teeth and be on with my day.
Right.
Which is the goal.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so we covered the scenario. So if you're analyzing yourself for the hunger satiety scale and you say, okay, I'm very hungry, and I have to go out to a dinner, I'm heading home, and I'm going to be really hungry, and that's when you have your tea, your veggie and your tea pre-meal. Then we covered the scenario
from day 1
from hack number 1.
If you're watching this out of order, from hack number 1.
Okay, and then the next scenario we covered was if you've gotten to a satiety level on the hunger satiety scale of between 5 and 6, and you're 80% full, and you feel like you want something, then it's emotional, and that's when you do the deep breathing. Well, the other scenario is when you feel like, okay, you're not starving, like you're totally fine, but you just want a snack, you haven't really had one.
And you need one.
And that's
how do they know what they need them? Tell them what level it is.
Okay, so when you get to about a 3 or a 4, when you remember, you don't want to let yourself get to 2, because that was very hungry, and very hungry means completely out of control. So
eat too fast, and
it's just impossible to control it when you're very hungry. I think we all know. We go to the grocery store when we're very hungry, and suddenly the entire store is loaded into your cart. Been there, done that. It's not good. So no more very hungry.
How did I get this in my pantry? I never bought it. Cake, cookie. What happened here?
Don't remember that happening. So anyhow, so that's another scenario.
But Tammy's talking about in the middle of your day. It's 3, it's 4, and you look and you see, well, here I am, and it's 3 p.m. or 4 p.m., but I'm also at level 3 or 4 hunger, so I'm actually I actually am hungry.
So then what do? You want to have a snack that's healthy and nourishing, and the combination that is critical is a lean protein and fiber, because that's what's going to slow down digestion, release an even amount of blood sugar, so you don't get a sugar high followed by a peak, because when a high followed by a crash, because when the crash hits, that's when your body signals it needs a quick pick-me-up, it needs more fuel. And what do we all turn towards? The quickest pick-me-up we can find: sugar, and more sugar. And it starts a vicious cycle of high and a low.
Yeah.
So we don't want that to happen, and the lean protein and the fiber will prevent that. So a great example would be a Greek yogurt and a piece of fruit.
Like the frozen blueberries. That's one of our favorites. We just the Greek yogurt, throw some frozen blueberries in there, let it defrost a little. Great snack.
Hard-boiled egg and a piece of fruit as well. Easy on the go. You can grab it and just eat it on the way out the door if you hard-boil your eggs in advance. Some vegetables and some hummus. And again, some of our clients like a small cheese string and a piece of fruit. Things that are quick and on the go. All work. So that is the scenario. That's your situation.
So let's talk about our client who we had.
Okay, so we have this client who came to us about 3 years ago, and she was really struggling. She had 50 pounds to lose, and her whole body hurt her. She said
knees hurt her going up the stairs. I mean, it
hurt her to sit down and to stand, and she was at her wit's end. She didn't know what to do. She said every time she ate, she'd end up, she didn't know what her portion should be, and no matter what, she would eat quickly. She'd end up feeling full, but beyond full. Like she said, every single stuffed.
She never felt good after a meal.
Never felt good after a meal. And
bloated
she said,
all the time.
And she also said it was creating headaches for her because
and also she had bags in her eyes.
Yeah, she lost all of her confidence. She said she'd get to work after eating this heavy breakfast and she just couldn't focus. She had a big brain fog, and then also her confidence had taken a huge hit. Her husband, they were getting a divorce, and she really, really felt it's because my husband's not attracted to me. It's because of the weight gain. So she was just hit from all angles.
She was in bad
so she was one who we taught this hunger satiety scale to, the 80-20.
Because she was eating a lot out of emotion as well, so that was an important thing for her to find. Like, of course, she's going through so much. It's pretty common to eat out of emotion when you're going through a lot.
Yes, she was going through a lot. So what we had her do was start by the 80-20 and eating to the 5 or 6 on the hunger satiety scale. And the first couple times she tried it, the first day,
time she was totally like us. I mean,
she ate way too fast.
And so she started at like 3 or 4. No, she started too hungry. She started at 2 and she ended at 3. So
remember, 2, we said don't allow yourself to get to 2 because that's very hungry. You can't make
and she ended it still hungry because she'd eaten so quickly. Like, even though she ate her whole meal, she was just as hungry because that's how we used to be, but we didn't pay attention because when we were kids, and now we really work on it to slow down.
So
but
that was
we can relate.
But we could definitely relate, and that was also a big, that we just wanted to share that with you because that happens to a lot of people, that they don't slow down enough so that they actually realize they're feeling satisfied when...
So even though later, if she waited 20 minutes later, she would have felt stuffed to the core, like how she's so uncomfortable, but she ate it so quickly that within 2 minutes, she still felt really hungry, so she was done, you know?
So it took it didn't take long for her to adjust because she was in touch with us.
No, she was working with it. We were working with her the whole time, but day one, when we were talking to her, it was just funny that we could relate.
But immediately she got back on track. She was able to figure it out, and within the first week, she said the brain fog was gone. She was feeling great after her meal.
She'd wake up in the morning feeling really light,
not groggy. She'd felt groggy before, and she also was really feeling great at work. And in the first week and a half, she dropped 13 pounds, which were cool. Amazing. She remember she had 50 to go, so but she said at the time when she dropped 13 pounds, it was enough for her that she could finally sit comfortably. Like before, she couldn't even sit comfortably.
And she said her joints really felt a little better. Like she just felt better, and she just felt confident that she was actually like seeing some great results.
Yeah, her biggest as time went on, her biggest the hardest thing for her was still the stress and the emotional one. She did the deep breathing, and the deep breathing really worked for her. But even so, just because she was dealing with the stress of the divorce and everything, she had a lot of emotions in there, and also her confidence was slowly improving, but she still was feeling bad because she felt her husband had left her because of the weight gain, and he just wasn't attracted. So that was really a hard hit for her. Her goal, though, she wanted to be like a normal person. She wanted to like just put the thing with her husband in the past, and she really wanted to get back to online dating. She had heard online dating was the way to go because some of her friends had a lot of success. So she said, when I reach my 50-pound goal, I'm going to get on the online dating, and I'm going to start. Well, for her, good for her, about 6 months after she started working with us, she reached the 50-pound weight loss. She got online, she started dating, and she actually almost met a guy pretty much right away. And so cool. And at first she said she wasn't really, she felt like, before she had lost the weight, she's like, I don't really feel worthy, like at this, I really need to feel worthy of someone great. And
she wanted to work on herself first.
And she did. She did. She lost the 50 pounds. She went out there. She met this guy. So now it's 2.5 years later. She's still with the guy. She's maintained the 50-pound weight loss. She feels great. She actually, she said,
she still uses that hunger cue, by the way, the hunger and satiety scale. She said it's innate for her, but she still uses it between her meals. She's really, one of the biggest things she's done is really just slow down. And as we told you, the chewing thoroughly changes so much, and it's really a game changer. Like, it's so weird to say, like, chew your food into a paste. Like, that's kind of bizarre. We get it, but it's life changing. So,
and it was for her. So she lost the 50 pounds. She's kept off the 50 pounds. Her latest update was she did get a huge promotion at work. She said she is now the VP. She's a VP position there. And she said, best of all, she said her husband wants her back. Can you believe that? Her husband wants her back, and she's still with a new guy.
Amazing.
So, and she said her confidence, she's never been so happy. She feels
so happy.
really great when she looks in the mirror. She said she's never really been the type of person to feel that good when she looked in the mirror, but she said now she really feels confident. She's happy, and she's so proud of what she accomplished.
Yeah. And all the joint pain went away originally went away pretty slowly, but by the time she was at 25 pounds down, so she still had 25 more to go, she really didn't have pain anymore. And exercising was so much easier. Her life just felt so much easier. So now you know when you're feeling hungry or when you're afraid about overeating, you're going to use our veggie and tea pre-meal. You know that if you've been struggling with weight around your middle, or if you have excess weight to lose, you likely have underlying inflammation, and you know how to prevent that from getting the best of you and obesogens from getting the best of you. And now you know how to use your hunger and satiety scale, that scale, to readjust your portions and know what portions are right for you without having to rely on the portions that you're given to figure out what you should be eating. And what we've seen in all of the years of all of our work doing this is that the people that really get real results have support and accountability. And knowing what to do is great. Like, knowing what to do is great, but doing it is another story. So if you've ever started a New Year's resolution and then you've given up on it a few weeks later or ditched it, you know how hard it is doing it on your own. We all have the best intentions, but so much can get in the way. A stressful day, an open bar at your friend's wedding,
barbecue, social event.
Anything can get in the way. So if you want 2020 to be the year where you finally get the weight loss results, those lasting results where you are not going on a crazy diet and you're not giving up the foods that you love, we would love to support you along the way. And we have a one-on-one nutrition program that does just this. We understand your struggles, we understand your pain, and we know what works. So we have a really very personalized, very highly personalized level of support and accountability, so that normally when you would fall off kilter, like if a stressful day you'd fall off kilter, we hold your hand and we guide you through it and we make sure that you succeed. And even lately, one of our clients came to us in October and she said every single year when October hits, it was Halloween through January, she said, I always gain 10 to 12 pounds. And she said, it's driving me crazy. It happens every year, and while everyone else in January is getting into the best shape of their life, I'm taking the whole year to take off the last 10 to 12 pounds that I put on over the holidays, and the holidays kill her. So she said, and she actually said to us, I don't feel like you guys can help me though, because I know what I should do. She said, I know. She knows. Yeah, she knows. I mean, we all know what we should do. She said, I know I shouldn't have those cakes and cookies like that. I know I shouldn't have that. Those brownies at that,
no pumpkin pie at Halloween.
Yeah, but she said,
at Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and she said, I just when I get around my family and it's holidays, it's like I have no control. And she said, I watch other people and they have control, but I just don't. So she really didn't think that we could help her. And so what we did with her was we held her hand the whole time and we'd strategize for her before the parties. And we'd make sure that they included some of her favorite foods. And we give her techniques to do it. And when things didn't go perfectly, we'd catch them immediately. And we tweak them, and then she could just progress and continue moving forward versus falling off the deep end like she would when she was not doing it on her own. So this was a game changer for her. And actually, okay, so here we are 3 months out, and this has been so exciting. So she started with us just before Halloween. By January, she not only didn't gain the 10 to 12 pounds that she gains every year, that she said, honestly, it's just becoming tiresome and it was a big burden for her.
She's like, I cannot do this at my age anymore. Like, I cannot do this every year. I'm so tired of it.
Yeah, she was just like, I'm disgusted with it. But she was actually scared to work with us because she felt like she was like,
she thought she couldn't succeed. She just didn't think she could.
Yeah, she's like, I just don't have control. So
but she's now
she lost 4 pounds. So she didn't only not gain the 10 to 12, she lost 4 pounds over the holidays, which is like, we consider it a win if you maintain weight over the holidays. She lost 4 pounds over the holidays. And it's been a few weeks since January started, and she's lost another 2 pounds. And she said, January, and like not having a holiday time, this is a breeze for her. And she feels so light. And she said she knew it was a burden, like having to know all year that she's going to have to work to lose that 10 to 12 pounds. But she can't believe how much it really was because she feels so free and light. And she wakes up and she's excited to get dressed, which is like, for us hearing that, it's like, amazing. So she's excited to get dressed. And she said it's changed her life. And we want you guys to experience that too. So we would love for you to get to do that too. And so if you want, we'd love to schedule a weight loss strategy call for 2020 with you, where we can chat about how we can best help you. And you can email us.
It's a free call.
Yeah. So you can email us at info@nutritiontwins.com, and we'll figure out how we can best help you. And we'd love for you to be one of our
clients. We'd love to help you.
Success stories. We appreciate you guys so much for joining us through this series, and we hope you learned so much. And thank you. We look forward to hearing from you. So info@nutritiontwins.com.
Set up a free 25-minute call. Bye. Thanks for joining us.